Good evening and welcome to this week's Olsem Wanem program. I'm Florence John Duo. We all produce garbage on a daily basis, and how we take responsibility of the waste we produce portrays who we are. We will now talk about NCD's waste management system. Having a waste management system in place is vital because improperly stored refuse or waste can cause health, safety, and economic problems. All living organisms create waste, but humans create far more waste than other species. In the long run, this will damage the Earth's ecosystem, thus affecting the quality of human life. NCD's waste management system is basically made up of two components, the soft and hard or technical components.
Our soft components, we have waste management policy that we endorsed in 2014. Apart from the policy, we have draft finalized waste management plan that is now before the NCDC board. That is a 10-year plan that kind of acts as a blueprint for managing waste in the next 10 years for the city. And to combine our efforts more or less from a policy and regulatory perspective, we also have two legislations from the national level that help us to manage waste. We have the Public Health Act of 1973, and we also have the Environment Act of 2000. So all of these legislations and the policies, plans put together, they make up the soft component of the waste management system. Our technical part of the system, you have your collection system, and you have your transportation of the waste that is collected. And then at the moment we have some bit of recycling going on. We have some pilot scale composting as well as some incineration of the hazardous waste that we collect. And finally, to round off the system, we've got the disposal that is happening down at Baruni.
Apart from these two components, the support components include the education and awareness component. Educating people on waste management could go a long way in highlighting that garbage is a man-made problem, and with the right attitude, millions of kina can be used for other developments instead of spending it on waste management.
The waste management is basically a behavior issue. So we've caught up with the rest of the world in that we acknowledge that education plays a big role in managing waste. So as a division, we have we have been doing some work around education and awareness, but in the past they were just ad hoc approaches that we took. Just this year around, we try to do things a bit more strategically, a bit more holistically. So we've come up with a waste education and awareness raising program. We started way back in 2011 and 12 with what we call the 3R Heart Eco School project.
There is only one landfill that caters for the whole city's waste, and that is the Baruni landfill. It was once called the Baruni dump, but is now a landfill as it is a controlled facility. Mr. Sam admitted that despite having a landfill, illegal dumping is still a major problem in Port Moresby.
We have people going and disposing waste illegally. It's a big problem. It's costing us a lot of money to try and manage. If you have a look closely to it, part of the problem lies with our collection system. So when we don't go and collect waste, when our contractors are not on time, residents do not want to keep the waste. So what they do, they go out and dispose in the late hours of the day when the place is dark.
He further elaborated that most often illegal dumping is the work of rogue contractors that are engaged by business houses.
These are private contractors, all right? For us, we have a contractor who services all the business houses in the city if they wish to. But if they are not happy with the quality of the service we provide, we do give them the allowance of engaging their own contractor. Right? And a lot of illegal dumping happening in the city is caused by this group of contractors who do not want to come to us to pay tipping fees. They'd rather make full profit out of the business houses that they serve.
You're watching Olsem Wanem. In this segment, we talk to organizations that are committed and are working in collaboration in making sure people are aware of the importance of keeping the place clean. Waste management is an expensive exercise and it costs millions of kina. Seeing the need for collaboration to address waste, many organizations are now working together to find new innovative ways to educate and create awareness on the importance of waste management.
Sustainable Coastlines PNG is a non-profit organisation. Our mission statement is to inspire, educate and enable Papua New Guineans to look after the places that we love. So really, our main message is around the impact of rubbish, so the impact of plastic, not only on coastal areas and the marine environment, but also on the impact on human health. So, what's wrong with rubbish? We see it everywhere and we know that it doesn't look good, but what are the actual health implications of having it around us? And not just understanding the issues with it, but actually giving people easy to adopt solutions. So sure, we all understand the issues, but we don't want to get too much into negative messaging. It's all about here's what we can actually do about it on a day-to-day basis, because people need just tangible calls to action, really.
The Cleaning Mosby campaign is spearheaded by Sustainable Coastlines PNG, with the objective of reaching large-scale awareness mainly on plastic products at the local level and help the communities develop relevant solutions to plastic pollution.
We really try and make it fun for people, and when it's fun, people relate well to the messaging. They go away having enjoyed it and they think about your message in a positive way. So first and foremost, we just like people to have fun.
Basically what we are doing is we're trying to move away from the traditional education and awareness methods like your typical stand and deliver type programs where you just go and stand in front of public and give a few dry, boring talks about waste. So we're trying to shift away from that.
One such initiative is the concept of the trash monster that's part of the Cleaning Mosby campaign.
The trash monster was actually a concept of the creative Kanaka, and there are a couple of really interesting guys who are doing just amazing things using art and sculpture to get social and environmental messages across. And I approached them and they really got on board with the style of awareness that we're wanting to try and run through the Cleaning Mosby campaign, which is less of that loud hailer, blow your hair back, being told what you shouldn't do and stop this and don't do that, and more really try to appeal to people on an individual level and try and get them to act from the inside rather than acting because they feel like they're being told off in a certain way.
Basically what Creative Kanaka stands for is it's all about sustainability, thinking alternatively about rubbish. The main mediums we're using at the moment, plastic bottles, cans, tires, anything. And The basic idea being Creative Kanaka is to rethink these things, research and find ways to reintroduce things back into the consumer cycle. You know, by, like, for example, what you saw the kids doing. Tires can be converted back into seats.
Solely, the trash monster was made out of recycled materials, which comes to show that garbage can be seen as a resource.
The idea behind Soli is that Soli will be used during the Clean Moresby campaign to activate the sites. And as you can see, when we have it up somewhere, anywhere, and this time it's on its belly, but what will happen as it travels around is that it will be standing up. And it will have nets running from under here back in. And people will be asked, while the roadshow is on at any one site around the city, to chuck in their non-biodegradable rubbish in here. And then the idea behind Soli is to create a visual image of the amount of rubbish that can be created over that period of time. And to make people conscious of the fact that most of the time, seeing rubbish, one blah, we don't take into, you don't really see how much and, what it looks like. So the idea behind Soli is to bring all that rubbish together, and as the messaging is being rolled out about what trash is, what it does, where it goes, how we can, rethink that, what we will be doing with Soli is encouraging people to chuck in the rubbish, and we're trying to create a portrait of what rubbish is.
When we talk about trash, it's all about the mindset. So I think one of the messages behind Creative Kanaka is that we want to get people to rethink trash. So say if you see a container, plastic bottle, most often we consider that as a trash, but we want people to think behind that or look from a different angle.
To be involved in the Cleaner Moresby campaign is really easy. Go to our Facebook page, which is Sustainable Coastlines PNG. You can find out more information about it there. There's a link to register online. If you don't have access online, no problem. You can just go into your nearest Stop and Shop store around Moresby, and there are registration forms there where we can get your contact details and we can call you to come out and find some way to work with your group in getting this message out in your community.
Basically, come down, come along, come take part, come talk to us. You want to know more about Kanaka, you want to know more about sustainable coastlines, want to know more about Soli, you want to know more about the next 9 monsters that are coming out to hit Moresby and Papua New Guinea. Come along, find out, come along, talk to us, and let's talk about rubbish. Let's keep this place clean, all right?
Welcome back to the program. Waste management is everyone's business and responsibility. With the right attitude and mind, we can keep Papua New Guinea clean. Here are some take-home messages for you.
There is this misconception that waste management is NCDC's responsibility. All right? Every person in the city produces waste, makes waste everybody's responsibility. Waste management is everybody's business. It becomes our responsibility only when we pick it up from your premises, right? So before you put it out for us to pick it up, you have some responsibility. And like I said, firstly, residents should help us reduce the amount of waste they produce. Studies indicate that currently each resident in the city is producing around 0.41 kilograms of waste a day. So if you do the maths, on average we are producing around 300 tons of waste a day. All right, and like I said, it's taking us a lot of money to manage it. So if they can reduce the amount of waste they produce by practicing the 3 hours at home, that will mean they will have to put out less number of waste, less amounts of waste, and that leads us to less work required to collect it, and that means less amount of money. So we can, save money to use on other more important sectors of the city. If you go around the city, you will notice that a lot of our residents don't have bins. By law, according to the Public Health Act, every owner of a premises must have a bin in which they store their waste.
So we would just suggest if you are having to burn rubbish, that you do that far away from where there are any people so that they can't inhale that smoke, and also just to check which way the wind's blowing. You don't want to walk all the rubbish 500 metres away from where you live and then it all blows back on your house. So I guess we really just want to try and work with communities to adopt some good disposal behaviour. If we can, keep our rubbish contained in one place, and then we can look at whether the best option for that community is to burn it. We can talk about the issues associated with that. Is the best option for that community to dig a big pit and put it inside? We can look at some of the issues that are possibly associated with that. Or is it a coastal community and they want to take it out and drop it in the ocean? There are issues associated with that as well. So I think it's really just about having communities understand all of the different issues and implications of the different methods of disposal, and then it's not about us to come in and say you should do it this way, but it's about trying to gather a bit of community feeling and understanding about it, and they can come up with their own solutions that they think are in their best interests. Papua New Guineans really, they love a program where they can be involved and feel like they're a part of something. We really, particularly with the waste side of things, we really need to move away from I believe, from how we have been managing cleanups, and that is there's an expectation of payment. We should understand that this is our place, this is where we choose to live, although people consider that home is somewhere else, it's not Port Moresby. The reality is that this is our home. This is where people choose to live, and that we need to take pride in where we live, and we need to actually understand the impacts of rubbish as well.
We also took to the streets and asked people all thing Olsem Wanem long passing long tromoy pipia inside long city.
Ting blomiet emosem mi plol man meriet masusiet long rausi pipia lo city. Bla mas clini city blomi bla. Mi bla wane province mi bla masusiet.
Em work blomi bla lo man meri mi bla around lo city em work blomi bla yet. Mi bla oli rubbish land mi bla mas carrying go na troma le right place also troma rubbish land bin stop land straight back mi bla troma. Troma natin. Some the time also go troma le bin straight. Some the time also troma natin. Em also type of man to also make him. All cars tools around the street tool make him now. So man tools are making. Also, I get a bin also rubbish. All carrying on a trauma good inside the rubbish bin. Also, trauma nothing.
When I walk around the city, I see people. They just when they hold rubbish like boy husk or beetle nut husk. Some of them they look around first, and they don't see any rubbish bin nearby. They just let it go. So it comes to my mind that there should be the city council should place appropriate rubbish bins along the road. Maybe let's say 50 meters apart from the other. It's a two-way thing. How I see it from my point of view. It's a two-way thing, like every individual should take responsibility. But first of all, the National Capital District Commission should place or make bins available.
Welcome back. We Papua New Guineans are known to be very resourceful people. The way forward for us is to see waste as a resource. Here are some short videos showing how garbage can be used as a resource for the creation of other useful things. That's all we have for this week. If you have any comments or stories you would like to share, please send us an email via the address now showing on your screen, or leave us a message on our Olsem Wanem Facebook page. Until next week, I'm Florence John Duo, and on behalf of the Olsem Wanem team, thank you for watching and have a pleasant evening.